Drove myself to A&E in the van because just thought, got an infection. With Luna, I had a group A strep infection in my womb and it was starting to feel a bit like that. A bit like tugging pains. Like a proper tugging pain in the bottom of my stomach. Either that or it was bowel related. Not been to the toilet properly for a week or so. Compacted bowel, all of these extreme things go into your head. Go to triage. When you go into Rotherham Hospital, they take you into a room, they do your blood pressure, they do your heart rate, they do your temperature. Said that my heart rate was fast, my blood pressure was high, and that I had a temperature. Probably just an infection. Sit down in triage. And at that point, my best friend's like, I'm going to come to the hospital with you. I don't want to see you on your own. Normally, she takes no for an answer, but for some reason, she felt that she needed to come and sit with me, which I'm very grateful for. So I get called into the triage room. A lady, again, does all my obs. Any chance you could be pregnant? No, of course not. Didn't feel my stomach. Didn't even go, oh, let me just have a feel. Because, probably might have been able to tell. Maybe not. Maybe could have. When I go and sit back in the waiting room and we get told to go round to urgent care. Go round to urgent care, but it's primary care, so it's not urgent. Sit in this waiting room. Don't know how long the doctors are going to be. Sounds like you've just got an infection. We'll get you some antibiotics and we'll send you on your way. Sat there with my best mate Lou, and these stomach cramps are ramping up a little bit. More painful. I wouldn't say there was any pressure there or anything like that. But yeah. So I go and ask the triage nurses. We can't help you because we have got no notes for you. We can't even look at you. Oh, I can't even put you on a bed. Can't even call anybody down, etc. They just dismissed me. They just wanted me to sit down and wait my turn. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Went and sat back down. Wasn't getting any easier. So got back up again, explained the situation and said, look, I can't take this pain anymore. I will start screaming and hollering in A&E because it hurts that much. It hurt way more than any of my other labours. I don't know if that's because I knew what it was, but it was in a different place. Just a lot more painful. So yeah. Then I'm like, stand back up. Oh, I need to go to the toilet. Again, been having tummy issues for the past week. So I thought, now's my time to shine. Gonna go and clear this blockage that I couldn't shift previously. Got into the toilet. Gets to about 9:15 and I text my friend going, can you get somebody? Because things don't feel right and I'm really scared. And I'll be honest, I was scared. I didn't know what was happening. So she goes and gets somebody. Again, they come in. There's nothing that we can do. You're just going to have to get back up off the toilet. You're going to have to go and sit round in A&E. At this point, I'm like, I can't move. So, from about 9:15 to about 10:15, we're talking a good half an hour. Lou's trying to find somebody to come and help me. I'm screaming in pain. These stomach cramps are getting more intense. Then I start getting a pushing sensation. But not bearing down, let's have a baby pushing sensation. It was just my body was just doing it by myself. So, yeah, I'm in the toilet. I've been in the toilet for about half an hour. Gets to about 9:45 and I'm like, I'm pushing. It's involuntary. It really, really hurts. Again, didn't think it was a baby until about 5 minutes after that, where I was like, okay, yeah, this could be a baby. But at not one point was I thinking it was going to be an alive baby at 37 weeks, near enough term. That's what they're guessing baby Edie was born at, 37 weeks. So, yeah. at this point, I fully rest my head on the sink and just go, whatever is trying to come out of my body, let's just get it out. Bed down, still sat on the toilet. I think Lou's panicking inside that my bowel's going to fall out. I'm slightly panicking that it's either going to be a bowel baby or something else. But it generally felt like the whole of my insides were going to fall out. Not anything like my other pregnancies or labours. But yeah, 2 pushes, baby's out, bum first, breech, in A&E toilet. And that's the story of Edie being born. So Lou calls out, "We've just had a baby." I don't know if I've said, but they wanted me to get out of the toilet, sit in a wheelchair and get wheeled back round to A&E. So I could have potentially just been sat in A&E waiting room giving birth to a baby. So I'm kind of glad it was in some sort of privacy in the toilet. I'm sorry, Edie, that you were born into the toilet, bum first. But at least it weren't head first. I mean, there's a silver lining in that. And then, so Lou shouts out, "We've had a baby, we need some help." And then she scoops Edie out of the toilet, wraps her up, looks after her. At this point, she's still attached to me. Doctors in A&E are tugging at baby. And I'm like, she's still attached. I have not birthed my placenta yet. She literally born 2 or 3 minutes ago. So time of birth was approximately 9:56. So 4 minutes off being 10 o'clock on 22nd of October. So obviously then about 30 doctors come. Everyone's a bit panicked. "Oh my goodness, this woman's just given birth." Even though we'd been trying to find somebody to come and help me for the past 45 minutes. Which I think is shocking. Luckily I'm quite strong-minded, I'd say. And I've got a very much I can do this on my own attitude. But not everybody has got that. And for some people that would have been absolutely traumatising. It was traumatising enough for me just being left in pain, screaming A&E down, and not really knowing what was going off. And then giving birth to a baby. My body went into shock. I was shaking, cold. Full on shock symptoms. And they're going to me, "So how far along are you?" Asking me all of these questions. And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know that I was pregnant, etc. Like, what else do you want? And Lou's backing me up. We didn't know. She didn't know. Nobody knew. So get wheeled up to delivery. And again, they're the same. "How far along are you?" Etc. I'm like, I don't know. And they're trying to hand me Edie. And I'm like, I can't physically hold this baby at this moment in time. I will drop her. I am in shock. Please just give her to Lou. Lou can totally look after a baby. She's had 3 of her own. Just give the baby to somebody who can keep her safe at this moment in time. It was totally surreal. Obviously going into A&E with what I was thinking was an infection, and then coming out with a teeny tiny baby. So they weighed her and they said that she was 2.480 grams, which I think equates, there's like, if you type it into Google it says £5.4, but if you look in the Health Visitors book or the red book that you get, it says £5.7. So we'll go with the conversion from that. So she was £5.7. So they did checks. Obviously they determined that she was born at about 37 weeks. I'm not convinced. She's very sleepy. I'm not a doctor. Then I drop the bombshell and go, "I've had twins previously. Can you please go and get an ultrasound machine? Because I don't know if there's 2 babies." With her only being tiny. Could have been 2 babies. Didn't know I was pregnant with 1. So could have been 2 in there, I guess. So they go and get an ultrasound machine. There is no other baby. Thank goodness there's only 1. And with that, Lou phones Conrad. I don't really know what was said because I was obviously holding the baby at this point. Feeding her. Well, no, I wasn't feeding her. I don't even know if I was holding the baby. I think I was just laid in bed in shock, going, "Oh my goodness, I cannot have another baby. Like, that chapter in my life is now closed. There's a 7-year age gap between Luna. Luna is a whirlwind. Luna's so complex. She's got so many complex needs. We've got Phoebe, who's 11. Twins 9. Like, all of this, like, the negativity going through my head. So yeah, Conrad then gets told, ships the big girls off to Grandma. Grandma's not aware of what's happened at this point. We're just keeping it between us. Don't need to traumatise more people. And then he comes up to the hospital. And we both look at each other as if to say, what the hell? Yeah. So then obviously you do your normal delivery stuff. We've got my cold toast, got a drink, etc. And then that's where you go from delivery to, go from like labour ward to like postpartum ward. Got in my bed, obviously. Conrad went home, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Because we didn't get up there till like 2. I'd had a shower at this point. We didn't have any clothes. I didn't have any clothes. Didn't have any nappies, wipes, nothing. So thankfully Rotherham Hospital pulled together and they had some spares and they managed to find me some shower gel and shampoo. And obviously they had hospital gowns, so I had those on. But they managed to find some newborn clothing for Edie, even though that absolutely swamped her. Oh, excuse me. Sleepless nights taking its toll. Yeah, and then Edie's really well overnight. And then Conrad tells the girls the next morning, and his mum, I think. Oh yeah, because they were at his mum's house. So they kind of all found out together. Yeah. I think everyone was shocked. Girls seemed okay. Obviously I wasn't there, but from what I can work out, they seemed okay. I think the twins were a bit upset. Phoebe was a bit more, oh wow. Luna was obviously absolutely amazed, and she apparently wished for a baby. So yeah, thanks Luna. Not that we would change it now. And then obviously Edie was jaundice, so she went on the lights because her jaundice levels were quite high on day, I can't remember if it was day 1 or day 2, but either still, she was on there for quite a while until day 5. So as you can imagine, her jaundice levels were quite high. She had both, like one on the bottom, one on the top. She had to wear a little superhero mask, which was a pain in the bum because they don't do it for tiny babies, which I can't work out. So she had this superhero mask on and it kept sliding down her face. So then I didn't get any sleep because I was like, oh, it's covering her face. So yeah, and then they took her off the lights on, I think it was Monday. Then we got discharged. Went to bed all, got a Taco Bell. Then the next day I had to go in and get another blood test. Jaundice levels were rising again. Day after, go back in, which was the Wednesday, and her jaundice levels have risen again, enough to require more treatment. So get ready to go in and put her back on the lights. So we have another overnight stay. And then in the meantime, she had a gammy eye. I say gammy eye, it was just across the eye. It started on about day 1. So they swab it. It come back that she got MRSA. Pretty sure you can only get that from a hospital. Probably from landing in a toilet. In the hospital. So yeah. She's been given treatment for that. We do our overnight stay in the hospital. But because Edie has been tested for positive for MRSA, we get a nice little side room, so I didn't have to put up with everybody's baby crying, or because, to put it quite politely, everybody else's babies cried more when I was in hospital than mine. So it was a bit unsettling because I just wanted to go to sleep, if I'm honest. Edie was on her blue lights, which she loved, and she slept on that. She'd only wake for a feed. And then on the Thursday, we were allowed home. And then the next day, on the Friday, midwife came, the lovely Gemma, who is like the best midwife ever. And anybody who gets to have Gemma, you're very, very lucky to have her as your midwife. Or as Luna calls her, what is it? The mid-mother. Mid-mother? Not midwife, the mid-mother. So yeah. Yeah, we had an amazing experience with the midwife. And then I went back in on Monday for... Friday morning, had to take Edie back in for another blood test for a jaundice, which they left it bleeding. We'll go. That's a different story. We could have come home with an anemic baby at that point. Then the midwife came Friday afternoon, and then I think we'd seen the midwife before that. My days are so muddled. Then I was back in. Not yesterday. Day before for Ferinject, another Ferinject infusion. So, in my time in hospital, I had 2 blood transfusions, 2 iron infusions, because my haemoglobin levels were really low. I was really severely anemic. I am actually really surprised that I was functioning. I was that anemic. But felt tired, felt really tired all of the time, but just thought, I'm just tired. It is what it is. So yeah, that's the story of Edie. And I think there's some questions on Facebook that I will answer. Let's have a look. Lots of, how did you not know that you were pregnant? In all of my other pregnancies, they were all small. Nobody really moved. Luna did not move at all in the last 6 weeks of my pregnancy. But I had where my placenta was at the back, so I should have been able to feel her. Obviously, I don't know where placenta was with Edie, but with her being breech and small, she's probably just hiding in my back with placenta at the front, shielding all of those kicks. Obviously, I had indigestion, I had constipation, I was out of breath these past 2 weeks before Edie was born, but I'm overweight and my diet isn't particularly great sometimes, so all of those symptoms I would not have associated with pregnancy. I had no changes in my body, my boobs didn't change. It's only when you look at the NEC video that you can see that I've got a bit of back pain. My stomach's a bit high, but it could have just been IBS. Right, nobody even thought for a second that I was pregnant. I'd been losing weight on Slimming World, so I'd not gained loads of weight, although I've lost like near enough 2 stone since giving birth. So yeah, I did probably gain loads of weight, but nobody ever mentioned, or nobody ever said. And if they did think it, why did they not say? Because obviously we'd not mentioned that we were expecting because we didn't know. And normally people go, oh, you've put on a little bit of weight around your tummy. Is everything all right? Etc. You're not having another baby, are you? Etc. Because 4 children is a lot, and everyone's first thing people always ask. So I'm intrigued to know if Edie make her appearance, did you think back and think, oh yeah, I felt this or that? Absolutely not. Don't remember. And sometimes wind, you get a bit of wind, feels like a baby kick, but there's nothing that sticks out and goes, oh actually yeah, did feel that or did feel that. Normally in my other pregnancies, babies have been like up in my rib cage and I've been like, oh, but with the other girls I was about 5 stone lighter, so obviously I was a bit slimmer, didn't have all of this extra cushioning. But yes, was walking around the NEC, and I'm pretty sure that's what put me into labour. How long were you in A&E before you knew there was a baby coming? So I got to A&E about 7:30, 8:15, and baby was born at 5 to 10. So, and I'd been in the toilet from 9:15. So, and it wasn't until 10 minutes before that I thought, oh yeah, this feels a bit familiar. It was a shock when I had her. Somebody's asked how it felt. It was a massive shock. And the girls, like I've said, they all had varied reactions. Couple of questions about when did I realise. How did you feel about telling family? I was a bit shocked about telling family. Not something that I thought that I'd have to do. Oh yeah, surprise, here's another grandchild. I was specifically worried about telling Conrad's sister, just for the simple fact that she's due her baby in about 2 weeks now, I think, or even a week. Not long at all. And it was just like, I don't want to tread on anyone's thunder. Like, obviously, you've known about this pregnancy. Everybody's known about this pregnancy. Everyone's really excited. And then there's us that just go, oh yeah, hi, we've just popped another baby out. Like, that sort of thing. And I think that was mainly what I was worried about. It wasn't about telling mum, dad, or friends, or anything else. It was more just that one, like, that one situation that was a bit like, oh, I don't want to upset anybody. Because it wasn't planned, and I'd hate for anyone to feel upset over something that we couldn't control. But I think it's all good. At least Edie will have a little baby cousin to grow up with, seeing as they're not going to have any little siblings, because the others, I had 4 under 4, so they all looked after each other. It was survival. But I feel very different about baby Edie. Her name came from a list on ChatGPT, PT or whatever it is that you call it, for the simple fact that she was called It or Baby for about half an hour. And I think we thought, let's give her an identity and then it might feel a bit more real. But no, mainly the comments, everyone's asking, how do you not know, etc. As I've explained, I didn't know. And if I did know, do you really think that I would put myself in a position to be giving birth in A&E toilet? If I knew, I would have at least had a home birth or something a bit more relaxing, not being in absolute agony giving birth to a breech baby. Yeah. Oh, which might I add, no tears, no stitches, nothing. So yeah, pretty impressed with my body. So my body knew, Edie knew, and I think it's a blessing in disguise. As much as it is a shock to the system, we're going to have to make some huge adjustments to the bus, to not only this bus, but the purple bus. I'm going to call it purple bus because I hate the word purple turd. But yeah, if anyone's got any more comments or questions that they want to ask, feel free. But please no more of the you must have known, because it's actually quite insulting because I didn't. Yeah. I didn't know. It's as much shock to us as what it is to everybody else. And a cryptic pregnancy is actually quite common. I think I was looking at some statistics. 1 in 2,000 people on a daily basis give birth to a baby that they didn't know they were having. And this is not just talking first babies, we're talking babies number 2, 3, 4, 5 and subsequent pregnancies. So it is common, it's not unknown, and it's really amazing what our bodies can do. I'm going to do a few shout outs to say thank you. So thank you to my amazing best friend who delivered, well, I say delivered, who retrieved Edie from the toilet. Conrad for being amazing and helping me recover and looking after the other 4, which I know everyone's going to say, but is your partner? Yes, but 4 children is a lot, and we normally do it together. So when I've been in hospital for 10 days on and off, it takes its toll, and it took its toll on the kids. So yeah, he definitely did amazing trying to keep the girls calm. And then to our amazing community midwife Gemma, it's just been amazing and really positive end to my care, if I'm honest. because it wasn't great from A&E. It really wasn't. It was awful and it was scary, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. And also a massive thank you to everybody who has purchased us something for Edie, or sent money or sent well wishes. You know, we're really grateful for everybody who has helped us adjust to this. So yeah, that's enough of story time. Leave me some comments and some questions in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe, because you will get to see Edie grow up. You've been as much a part of this journey as what we have had. So yeah, thanks again for watching this really long video of me just talking to you, and you'll see us on the next one.